The first Extraction film was a completely random watch for me and one of my online friends, and we were surprised by how kick-ass that first film was, so of course we were going to watch Extraction 2, and we had just as much, if not more, of a kick-ass time with Extraction 2. You could pick this film apart if you really wanted to, in terms of the writing, cliched villains, and some of the tropes they use, especially one involving one of the kid characters, which actually did make me roll my eyes. I was like, really, you're doing this with this kid character? Come on now. But honestly, if you're watching Extraction 2 for anything other than the action scenes, then I gotta question why you're even watching Extraction 2. I can forgive some eye-rolling tropes and some cliched villains and all that stuff in an action film if the protagonist is cool and vulnerable, and if the action is really cool and entertaining. And in the case of Extraction 2, I got both of those things. That's what I like about Chris Hemsworth in these films. He's a complete badass, an absolute unit of a character, and you buy the fact that he is the best at what he does. But he's absolutely not invulnerable. He takes the hits. In fact, if you saw the end of Extraction 1, he pretty much almost died. So it makes you actually care about him physically as a protagonist, like he could actually die. There's also a surprising emotional touch that they added to his character in this. I don't remember if they touched on it in the first film. They might have done, probably did. I just can't remember a lot of the plot of the first film. But they did something in here with a bit of his backstory, and it was actually quite touching. But let me get back to the action, because some of the fight scenes and some of the kills in this, just very gratifying, very badass, especially one involving a weight machine, where my actual reaction was, oh. It was just like, wow, that was brutal. But you cannot talk about this film without mentioning the single shot sequence, and I'm sure you've heard this from all the reviews and all the marketing for this film. There is a sequence in this film that's put together to look like one shot. It's 21 minutes long, and me and my friend I was watching it with, we were just constantly in awe. Like every few minutes we were like, dude, this is still going. It starts off as a prison break, then it turns into a prison riot, then it turns into a big car chase, and it turns into another shootout and a couple of little fight scenes in the middle of it, and then it ends in this massive train sequence with a big helicopter blowing stuff up. It was quite astonishing, especially from an editing and a choreography standpoint, especially the part where it's the prison fight scene. You've got all those extras fighting everybody, and Chris Hemsworth is fighting all these different people, and at one point even gets partially set on fire. And I'm just like, in one screw up, they gotta reset all this stuff again. I mean, one or two times you can tell where there's a transition or an edit to stitch all the different shots together, but still, 21 minutes, and all the different fights and action bits that they put together in that one 21-minute single shot, it was still really entertaining to watch all that come together. Extraction 2 does what it says on the tin. It is a kick-ass, badass action film with some really gratifying, satisfying kills thrown in there, some really good action scenes, some really good stunt work, some really good choreography. If you're planning a Netflix night in and you just want to kick your feet back and watch an entertaining action film for the sake of an entertaining action film, put on Extraction 2, you'll have a good time.